Welcome back to Sparring Sessions. We are here for a new UFC fight night, the first fight night of the year on Paramount Plus. We got Big Will, and of course, you got UFC Genie, and we are going to go through every single fight on this card and tell you who's going to win and why. Yeah, I guess no further ado. I guess we can just jump right into it. How are you feeling overall on this card though? Like, if you want to rate it on a scale of 1 to 10, what do you think?
For a fight night card, I'm gonna give it a 7. I think it's got potential to have some banger fights and banger finishes. And I'm being optimistic. We got a couple of weird fights added last second to this card, and I'm not too upset about it. I think we're gonna see some really fun action here. Yeah, I'm down for this. I'm down for this fight night.
I I agree with you on the 7 out of 10. I think there's some really good fights, and even so on the prelims, there's a couple fights that I'm looking out for that are gonna, I think, exceed expectations. So yeah, 7 out of 10 I think is a good rating. But yeah, let's jump right into it. First fight of the night: Priscilla Cachoeira, Zombie Girl, versus Claudia Segula. Priscilla Cachoeira's 13-7, Claudia Segula's 7-2. 4-inch reach advantage for Claudia Segula of 69-inch reach compared to 65. They're both 5'7". Claudia Segula significantly younger, 27 years old compared to 37. I'll throw the ball to you. I'll let you go first. Who do you think's going to win this one?
I don't think Cachoeira has been this attractive as an underdog in her career, man. I think in MMA, as fucked up as this might be able to say, usually the pretty girls don't win, especially at this level. So, um, not to flex or anything, but I was at the PI last week in Vegas and I saw Priscilla Cachoeira. She's a big girl, dude. She is a large woman. I don't know how she made 125 the times that she even attempted to and failed, but she is a large lady. She is known for one thing and one thing only, and that's her fucking devastating stopping power that she has. I don't think this girl's gonna be able to take her punches. I don't think she's able to exploit Cachoeira on the ground, where we've seen her get exploited many times in the past. We saw Cachoeira get slept really bad last fight, but she's also fighting another big girl that's very talented in Jocelyn Edwards, I believe that was against. But if you're getting dogged out by Melissa Mullins on the ground, I don't think you're going to be able to take Cachoeira to deep waters and submit her or finish her. So give me the first underdog on the first fight night of the Paramount era, Priscilla Cachoeira by TKO.
I like it, and I think I'm right there alongside you. I think Priscilla Cachoeira against Claudia Segula is going to absolutely dominate. We saw she got exposed kind of against Melissa Mullins, and I don't really think a win over Arena Alexiev is doing it for me. Priscilla Cachoeira is only losing to elite competition. Jocelyn Edwards, Jasmine Jasovicius, and Miranda Maverick. They are top 10 caliber fighters in this division, top 15 at least. Yeah, I think Priscilla Cachoeira is going to do really good here, and she's going to stop Claudia Segula within 2 rounds. That's going to be my pick. We'll move on swiftly to the next fight up the card, which I think is a really good fight. Muin Gafurov versus Jacob Wicklax. 20-6 Gafurov, 17-3-2 Wicklax. Gafurov coming off of a win over Rinya Nakamura. Wicklax coming over a win over Patchy Mix. That was an hilarious one. He got him out of the company with that one, and he's got a 5-inch reach advantage over Muin Gafurov. And I like Jacob Wicklax in this one here. I think it'll be a close fight. Muin Gafurov does have really good boxing. He boxed up Rinya Nakamura. Really good might be an overstatement, but he was able to box up Nakamura, defend a lot of the takedowns. So this could be a more interesting fight than some people think. But I think Jacob Wicklax is going to get this done, and I think it's going to go all 3 rounds, and he's going to win this fight by decision.
Um, Man, this is a tough fight. I think this is one of the biggest toss-ups on the card. My mind wants me to take Gafarov here. I think Wiklax isn't gonna have anything for him on the feet. Um, I think that it can look a lot like his last fight and just stop the takedowns and cruise to a decision. But with that being said, if he does get the fight to the ground, I definitely think he can end it with a submission, because that's what he's known for. I don't think he won that fight against Patchy Mix, even though it was a garbage fight where it could have gone to either guy. But I'm gonna go with Gafarov here by decision. I guess this is gonna be one of those moments where you have to show me, and yeah.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Alrighty, so we'll move on to the next one up the card. We got Kong Wang versus Eduardo Moira. 8-1 Kong Wang, 12-1 Eduardo Moira. This fight's taking place at flat. Oh, I thought it was flyweight last time I saw, but it's actually 125, which that makes more sense. But I thought when I did my prediction video, I don't know why I thought it was 115. It makes a lot more sense now that it's 125 though. Kong Wang minus 225 favorite. As I said, 8-1. She just has a 2-fight winning streak over Arian Lipski da Silva and Bruna Brazil. She lost to Gabriela Fernandez though. Eduardo Moira, she missed weight 2 times before moving up to 125 and beating Veronica Hardy and then Lauren Murphy. Who do you got in this one?
Man, it seems like one of those fights where it's if it's on the feet, it's clearly Wang. If it's on the ground, it's clearly Mora. I think it's. Uh, do you have faith in Mora being able to get the fight to the ground? If that is no, then you go with Kong Wang, whatever. If you think that she can get the fight to the ground, then you go with Mora. I think it's that cut and dry. I don't think it's going to be a close fight either way. It'll be one-way traffic no matter who wins, and I think I'm gonna go with the talented kickboxer in Wong Kong, whatever her name is, however you say it in whatever order. I think her hips are really strong for the division. Barring a head kick and being absolutely rocked into the next world and getting her neck taken, I think Wang is able to take this fight to a decision. I don't know if she'll be able to get a finish. We've seen more of a fade a lot in fights, and if she's going in there and being like, I gotta go shoot 15 takedowns and go Marab style, I think she's gonna get absolutely cooked and finished late in the fight. So I maybe if she tries to play just stay up on the feet for the majority of the fight, maybe she'll be able to last. But if she goes out there and empties that gas tank going for them takedowns, she's gonna get cooked. So yeah, I'm gonna go with the Chinese kickboxer.
I am going to agree with you here. I think Kong Wang's going to win this fight on the feet. I think Eduardo Moira is pretty physical. She definitely has the ability to get this fight to the mat, but Kong Wang's a very big girl herself, so I think she's going to be able to shrug off the takedown attempts or maybe the body lock positions, reverse with the body lock position maybe, but I think Kong Wang's going to win this fight by decision. I'm thinking it's not going to be a KO. Kong Wang's only been able to KO Victoria Leonardo, who that's that's about the lowest of the low in women's competition there. So I don't think she's knocking out Eduardo Moira, but she's gonna win this fight by decision. We're moving on. Saeed Nurmagomedov versus Javid Basharat. 18-5 Nurmagomedov. 14-2 Javid Basharat. They're both on 2-fight losing streaks. Saeed both by decision, but Javid, he just got put out bad in his last fight by Ricky Simone. Very bad knockout. He was staring up at the lights. I can vividly picture like Javid staring up at the lights. It was just the
Oh
worst looking
God.
knockout. I had Javid in that fight too, man. I thought he was winning that fight. Was not expecting him to get knocked
I,
out,
I
but
had Ricky, man.
you had of course you did. Of course you did. Um, I guess I get to go first on this one, and this is such an interesting one to pick because like Saeed, even in his losses, is like very close. The Bryce Mitchell fight was a pretty close fight, back and forth grappling positions from what I remember, and that Vinicius Oliveira one, he couldn't really get much going. He got beat up on the feet and takedowns denied, but I don't know if this fight's going to be all on the feet. I think Javid could have some grappling moments here too. And I'm actually going to go with Javid to bounce back. I think he's going to be a bit more hungry here because it's been a while since this guy's won a fight, man. Like the no contest to Victor Henry because of the low blow that he landed on Victor Henry. That was a brutal way to finish a fight. And then losing to Ayman Zahabi in a close decision that you just couldn't figure out his like the next thing to do. He just let himself get out game plan pretty much by Ayman Zahabi. And Ricky Simone, man, that was a brutal one. I think he's bouncing back, and I think he's finding himself a decision victory over Nurmagomedov.
Do you know who the last two wins that Javid Basharat had in the UFC? Or do you know his
Yeah,
wins?
yeah, they're not.
Trevin
I
Jones, Tony Gravely, and Matus Mendoza, all UFC washouts. Um, I think between those guys and then his last three fights with Victor Henry, Eamon Zahabi, and Ricky Simone, they're on the opposite ends of the spectrum in terms of competition. Like I think those last three guys are in like the top 30 of the division, and then the first three guys were like in the bottom 30, which is, a pretty deep division. But I kind of want to go Saeed here because I think that this Basharat in Javid, he's the worst brother. I don't think he is able to uh mix it up as much as the other brother is. I don't think he's able to blend the martial arts as well as as his brother. Unfortunately, I think that the Basharat brothers are known for kickbox, 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 shoot, shoot, kickbox. Like, and I think that it's gonna be, especially him. I think that this he could definitely pull off the trifecta and get submitted here by a guillotine. So he'll lose by decision, knockout, and submission in the UFC, which very few people get to do that. So let's
and the
see.
no contest.
And the no contest. And the no contest. Give me Nurmagomedov the underdog in this fight.
Hey, you got me thinking now too. Fuck. That's an interesting one for sure. But we move on. Bruna Brazil versus Ketlin Souza. 11-5-1 Bruna Brazil versus Ketlin Souza's 15-6. Bruna Brazil's fresh off of a win over Ming Shi or Shi Ming on that weird like Road to UFC card that they did where
This
there's
could be
like
a road to UFC main event.
this could be people forget, man. Um, Ketlin Souza's on a 2-fight losing streak though, both by split decisions, very close fights. She technically could have won both of them. Very close fights. She does have a 2.5-inch reach disadvantage here against Bruna Brazil. And I'm gonna let you go first here on this one.
Oh, thanks, man. Shit. I honestly don't have a good grasp on Bruna Brazil because I bet on her when she's lost and bet against her when she's won. Um, Not against Mingxi. I took Brazil against Mingxi, but man, I don't know. I don't know how Tapology is so skewed on this fight, 76% on Brazil, and I don't think that's something we'd ever think we'd see. Her three wins in the UFC are Ming Shi, Molly McCann, and Shauna Bannon, and then she lost to Loma Luke Boon Mi and Kong Wong in her last two losses. And then you have Ketlin in her last five. She lost to Pierre Rodriguez, Angela Hill, and Karini Silva. Man, those losses are better than hers. And she beat Jasmine Yarugui. That's a huge win. Marnik Man sucks, but man, I kind of feel compelled to take the slight underdog in Ketlin Souza, just for the simple fact that at this level, you want to take the one that's more man-like, and I think that's Ketlin Souza. So give me Ketlin Souza, just to be a little bit more meaner. I think she's gonna have a little bit more pop on her shots, and get a decision victory against Bruna Brazil.
I'm with you here. I got Ketlin Souza as well. I think she's going to be able to get in the pocket on Bruna Brazil. If she plays this out range, this is going to be a troubled fight for her. I could see Bruna Brazil circling around and teeping her and keeping her at range. But I think if Ketlin Souza breaks in the pocket, like she's definitely landing the better shots than Bruna Brazil. And she has the higher probability of putting Bruna Brazil's lights out. So I'm going to say Souza by either TKO or decision. And that's my pick. We move on. The next one is Nikolai Veretennikov versus Nico Price. I didn't know both. I did not know both of these guys are 36 years old. I thought Nikolai was a bit younger, but they're both 36 years old, 3 months apart. Kind of interesting. 13-7 Nikolai Veretennikov, 16-9 Nico Price. I get to go first on this one. I'm going Nico Price, man. I'm going Nico Price. He hasn't won a fight in nearly 2 years, but he beat Alex Morono, and like
Crafty
Nikolai
vet, crafty vet.
crafty vet, but Nikolai barely scraped by Francisco Prado. That's like not a great win, and it was a very close fight. I think Nico Price can outgrit Nikolai on the feet, and I don't see Nikolai being able like what's his game? What even is his game? Like he's not great on the ground. He's not that amazing on the feet. He's just kind of a marauder. He's plodding forward. I think Nico Price is winning this fight, and I think it's going to be a decision.
Man, Oliveira Veretennikov is one of the weirdest fighters I've ever seen in the UFC because it's like he lets you do whatever you want to him, and his game plan is just to defend whatever you're doing to him. It's very, very weird. I don't think he beat Prado. I thought he lost that fight. He's got a bizarre style. I don't know what it is about him. I don't like him. This fight has weird split decision written all over it, I think. Uh, I don't know if he has the power at this level or uh the the combination. I don't know if he has it at this level to put out a guy like Nico Price, but Nico Price has been a bit of a shell of himself. But
That's fair.
this could easily go either way. I'm gonna go for I'm gonna go with you, man. I'm gonna take Nico Price here just because I just don't know what to expect from Veretinnikov, and um I don't know what he looks like when he's trying to implement his game plan. I just know what it looks like when he's trying to defend other people. So give me Nico Price to give us a crafty vet win.
All right. And speaking of Nico Price's last win, Alex Morono next up the card against Daniil Donchenko. This is a brutal matchmaking in my
We don't gotta
opinion.
spend much time on
Yeah, we
this
don't
one,
got to
buddy.
spend much time. What you got, Daniil Donchenko?
Yeah, man, I think he's gonna come out there like Leal did and just put it on him and dog walk him. I think that Morono's got a weird ass style. He tries to stand in like a karate bouncy stance, but he throws like loopy shot. It's just very bizarre. It doesn't make his style doesn't make much sense. He used to be a 55er. I don't know how dedicated he is because he was just commentating last week at some promotion that's on the Fight Pass. Uh, I don't know, man. I think he's just being used as a stepping stone these days, which is okay. That's how the sport goes. We've seen it many times. I think Donchenko is going to come in and blow his head off probably in the first 3 minutes. Um, so, yeah.
All right. I agree with you. I think Donchenko first round knockout, pretty safe
Yeah.
bet. Yeah. So, yeah, moving on. Next one up the card, Dustin Jacoby versus Julius Walker. Sparring Sessions alumni Julius Walker. People forget, man. This is an interesting matchup, though. I think 21-9 Dustin Jacoby, 21-9-1 Dustin Jacoby against 7-1 Julius Walker. He just coming off of a win over Rafael Cerqueira before he lost a split decision to Alonzo Menifield. I thought he should have won that fight, to be honest. And Dustin Jacoby's on a two-fight winning streak by knockout. He beat Vitor Petrino and Bruno Lopez. I'll go first on this one. I don't like this matchup for our boy Julius Walker. I think this might be a bit too much too soon. Dustin Jacoby's very legit, and he's on a crazy streak right now. Vitor Petrino and Bruno Lopez knocking both of them out back to back is really impressive to me. I thought I thought Vitor Petrino was winning that one for sure. I thought Bruno Lopez was gonna win. That was an underdog pick, I think. And I was wrong on both of them. I hope I'm not wrong when I switch over and pick Dustin Jacoby here. I'm picking him to win this fight by decision.
All right. I don't hate that, but can you tell me a one person that Dustin Jacoby's fought in the UFC that was the style of our buddy in Juice Box, Julius Walker. There's not many like him at 205, man, and I think he's a former Glory kickboxer in Dustin Jacoby. He fought Vito Petrino. Vito Petrino's a striker first, but now he's kind of become a wrestler, and I don't think that's I think Julius Walker's always been a guy that pours the pressure on you and wants to get the fight to the ground and pound you out. And you go through his fights in the UFC: Darren Stewart, John Allen, Mikhail Jacek, Dawoon Jung, Kennedy and Zechiku, Vitor Petrino, Bruno, those guys are not shooting at him at the level that Julius Walker's going to. And I don't like the fact that he's a Factory X. I think that gym is bizarre to me, just for the every betting scandal the UFC has, it goes back to that gym. I think that he was also in Australia last week in Cody Brendage's corner. I don't think that's great that he was just traveling all that well and he's got to cut weight now. Man, I like Julius Walker, man. He's a lot younger. I think that he wants this more, and I'm gonna go with Julius Walker as the underdog pick here. I don't know if he'll get a finish, but I think he's gonna wash, rinse, and repeat and take Dustin Jacoby down to the win.
All right. Okay. You definitely opened my eyes there, man. We're moving on. Gene
So,
Matsumoto versus
so what the
Fareed
show's for,
Basharat.
man.
Yeah. 17-1 Gene Matsumoto versus 14-0 Fareed Basharat. Very good fight. I actually said last week this is my favorite fight on the card, and I hope it lives up to my expectation of it. You get to go first on this one, though.
Like I said earlier, I think Fareed Basharat is the better brother out of the Basharats. I kind of like how they fight on the same card sometimes. That's pretty cool. It's not something you see often. Shout out the Kosi brothers. If you remember them, do you remember them? Orion Kosei and it doesn't matter. They were in the UFC
Not a
for a blink of an eye, but yeah, I think he's the much better brother. I think he's able to blend the different lanes of MMA together better than his brother. Uh, and Gene Matsumoto, man, he's a great prospect coming up. He recently lost to Rob Font, which was a super close fight, if I remember correctly. Um, Fareed Basharat, he's 14-0. He beat Chris Gutierrez, Victor Hugo, Taylor Lappel. Dude, I think that Taylor Lapilus fight is such a good win on his record because he was able to take Lapilus down. And Lapilus, man, he does not usually get out wrestled that like that. So I take that win into consideration when it comes to this fight by a big margin. How do you think a fight against Miles Johns would go for Fareed Basharat?
I think he'd box him up, and I think he'd win that fight clearly by decision.
It
I
wouldn't be a weird split decision where other people said they would win. Um, Brad Katona, Dan Argueta, like man, Matsumoto's got the stuff, man, but I don't think if all of his tools are at a 7, Basharat's everything's at a 8.5. So I'm gonna give me Basharat by decision here. I'm gonna go with that. I feel pretty good about that.
like that. Matsumoto always, like, I swear, every time, even if he's winning or not, he's always busted up. He's always cut above his eye, bleeding. And Fareed, this guy's very accurate, and he's a very good kickboxer. I like his style a lot. He's not shy to take the fight to the mat either. Matsumoto's just too brawly for his own good, and he's at a reach disadvantage here. He's gonna have to get in range on Fareed, who's gonna be circling around him, and I think he's gonna win this fight by decision, as you said. So that's my pick, Basharat by decision. We move on to the next one. Mikhail Oleg versus Marc-Andre Barrio. 21-9 Oleg 17-10 Marc-Andre Barrio. I'm interested to hear what you have to say on this one. But I get to go first, actually. Mikhail Oleg is on a 2-fight win streak over Cedric Dumas and Gerald Mearshart. Knocked both of them out. It sucks. I have to go with Mikhail Oleg the way I've been picking Marc-Andre fights, I picked Shara Magomedov. I picked Bruno Silva. That was a bad pick, I'll admit. I picked Dustin Stoltzfus. I picked
People
Joe
forget, man. He
Pyfer.
got a dent in his head.
Yeah, oh man, he was out for so long. I was live I was in the arena. He was out for so long.
Didn't he
It
go
was
on a
like
stretcher?
on a stretcher, and it was like 5 minutes. I swear he was in the cage before he woke up. It was like very
Crazy
bad.
stuff, man.
Um, I gotta go with Macau here by knockout. It's a hesitant pick. I am worried because I'm not entirely sold on Macau as a fighting nerd yet. I think like the two fights he's got are kind of like Gerald Meerschaert's sure, but he's kind of washed at the stage in his career that he's at. Cedric Dumas, I think nothing of. So those two wins don't mean much to me in 2026. But I'm interested to hear what you have to say on this one.
Uh, I think I think this fight's gonna be bombs over Baghdad, dude. I think Macau's gonna knock Mark out probably in the first round. I don't know if you expected me to go with Mark here because I do like to go with Mark in some fights. I think this is a bad matchup for him. I think Macau's if he tries to get within like anywhere near boxing range, Macau's gonna try to light him the fuck up. He's not gonna let him dirty box him. He's not gonna let him clinch him against the cage. And I think he's probably gonna get a TKO here against Mark. Yeah, man. I don't know if Mark used to be known for the chin, and I don't know if it's there anymore. So give me
Yeah,
Lord Macau.
fair enough. Fair enough. I th- I I thought you might have been going with Marc Andre, but that one's an odd one. I nearly went with Marc Andre. Not gonna lie, when I was picking it, I was so close to going with him. I don't know how that fight's gonna go, but next up, Jailton Almeida versus Rizvan Kuniev. I am not excited for this fight. 22-4 Jailton Almeida, 13-3-1 Kuniev. Both coming off of losses. Kuniev in his UFC debut lost to Curtis Blades, and Jailton Almeida just lost an odd split decision of Volkov, but is it really odd if you look at the striking numbers? He's got a 3-inch reach advantage over Kuniev, and you get to go first on this one.
I'm going Kuniev. I think he's shown some really good stuff outside the UFC. I think these odds are a fucking trap. I think Vegas is begging you to take Almeida. They're like, yeah, Almeida's a great value pick at whatever, like what, minus 155 was he or something like that. He's like, yeah, we're begging you. We're begging you to pick old Jailton here minus 150. Why the hell would Jailton Almeida be minus 150 against a guy that's 0-1 in the UFC? Think about that. They're begging you to take Jailton, dude. That's how I feel, man. I think Rizvan, from where he comes from, he's from Russia, man. He can wrestle. He can wrestle. He stopped Curtis's takedowns, and I think Jailton has nothing for him on the feet. I think Jailton will get boxed up on the feet. Um, yeah, I think Kuniev is a great underdog here, and I don't know if uh we've the grit levels in this fight, man. Almeida has very low levels of grit. The grit meter is not it's not off the charts for Almeida, man. You get past his second explosion for takedowns, he's a bit of a nothing burger, dude, if he can't get you out of there in the first 3 minutes. So yeah, give me the old Russian and Rizvan Kuniev to get a TKO win. I think he'll TKO him.
Fuck. I'm so scared, man. I went with Jailton. I'm not gonna lie. I went with Jailton. I think I get like Curtis defended the takedowns of Kuniev, or Kuniev defended the takedowns of Curtis, and Almeida got his takedown stuffed against Blades. It's a weird MMA math that I'm doing here, but I think Almeida's still going to be able to take Kuniev down a couple times, and he's going to be more active when he get like even Blades went what 2 for 15 or something on takedowns. He still got two takedowns or maybe three takedowns. Almeida, that's all he needs, really. He's such a smudge grappler. And I think he's going to be a bit more active if he ends up getting one of these takedowns because he just lost a decision based on his inactivity on the ground, right? So I think he's going to blast a double leg or something. He's going to get it. It's going to be not the fight we want to watch, but it's going to be Almeida on top and some pepper, you know, a couple of those. And Jailton Almeida is going to win this fight by decision. It's not going to be fun to watch. But that's what I'm thinking. But I definitely, after you said your pick, I'm feeling a lot less hot on mine. I'm not gonna lie.
Dude, I'm over here convincing you on the whole card, huh?
Yeah. Um, moving on, Amir Albazi versus Kyoji Horiguchi. 17-2 Amir Albazi, 35-5 Kyoji Horiguchi. Fresh off of a win over Tajir Ulanbekov 2 months ago, submitted him, drowned him out on the feet, and stuffed his takedowns, and then got his own control position and submitted him. It was a beautiful win. I think I picked Tajir in that fight. It was a iffy pick, man.
People
I was a
forget, man.
Kyoji. People forget I
Horiguchi,
was a Kyoji denier.
Horiguchi's on
Amir,
order.
though, I think Amir absolutely stinks.
Oh yeah, I would
He's
agree there.
he he just got his ass kicked against Brendan Moreno. He got a robbery win over Kai Kara France. He knocked out Alessandro Costa, which I was a big Costa enjoyer. You know, I think I might have picked Costa against Amir Albazi. So I've been picking against Amir every step of the way. I don't think I think he's got a fraudulent win streak leading up to that Brendan Moreno fight, and I'm glad Brendan Moreno was able to expose him. And I think Kyoji Horiguchi, crafty vet, he's going to box him up on the feet. I don't think Amir's going to be able to take him down. I think Kyoji Horiguchi is going to coast his way to a decision.
Yeah, man, I agree with you. I think Kyoji's better across the board. I think Amir's mid. I think he's had some serious surgeries in the last couple of years between his neck and his heart. Not things you want to hear. I think Kyoji has beaten better guys than Amir has even ever faced. So, um, yeah, I'm going Kyoji here. I would not be surprised if Kyoji's the first one to put him away because he's back and he's looking to make statements and get a title shot that he wasn't able to get against DJ all those years ago, which he was super young in. Give me Horiguchi here. For video's sake, I'm gonna say a decision, but I wouldn't be surprised in the slightest if Kyoji came back and uh got to finish here. So yeah, give me Horiguchi.
All right. So we move on to the final fight on the card, the main event between Mario Bautista and Vinicius Lockdog Oliveira. 16-3 Batista against 23-3 Oliveira. Batista's fresh off of a loss to Umar Nurmagomedov 3 months ago, and Oliveira's on a 5-fight win streak or a 4-fight win streak since entering the UFC from Contender Series. And you get to go first on this one.
Man, this is a tough fight for me to pick, honestly. Uh, we've seen Batista slap before. He's gonna try to come in and cause chaos. It's a big step up in competition, and this kind of feels like people are gonna pick Oliveira because he's a popular underdog here in this spot. But then it makes me think that people are also gonna pick Mario just because, he was on an 8-fight win streak, fighting really high level guys. Oh man. My mind says go with Batista, but I'm gonna go with my heart here and go with Oliveira. I think Oliveira is gonna try to put the pedal to the metal and see this as a 3 round or a 2 round fight, and he's gonna try to get Batista out of there. So give me Oliveira by knockout. Just a feeling.
All right. I'm with you. I'm going Vinicius Oliveira. I think Mario Batista, I mean, he beat Patchy Mix. Which, how highly are we rating a win over Patchy Mix in 2025? How highly are we
Yeah.
rating that? Really. That was his last dominant win. The Jose Aldo one, I think Jose Aldo won that fight. I value what Jose Aldo did more than what Batista did in that fight. The cage holding was not as dominant as the leg kicks and the boxing of Jose Aldo. The Damon Blackshear fight, Damon Blackshear, I think, should have won that fight. That was a kind of a robbery, in my opinion. He was dominant against Ricky Simone as well, but Vinicius Oliveira, this guy's got on paper, he's got 80% takedown defense. He stopped Ricky Simone's takedowns and beat him up on the feet. Stopped Said Nurmagomedov, beat him up on the feet. Bernardo Sopaj, he got controlled, but then Bernardo gassed and he knocked him out on the feet. Kyler Phillips,
Mhm.
very good striker. He just dominated. Mario Bautista, I don't think his boxing's up to par. I don't think it's going to compete with Vinicius on the feet. Mario's going to have to slow this fight down. And this is a 5-rounder, right? This is all this is a the, he's not going to be able to do that for 5 rounds, man. It's not going to happen. Vinicius is going to have a lot of moments on the feet, and he's going to drown Mario Bautista pretty much. There's going to be a third or fourth round TKO, I'm thinking. Vinicius Oliveira, third or fourth round TKO. I'm liking that pick.
Cool.
And that's all the fights on this card.
Yeah.
Before we finish up, though, let me go to the next fight night. But the next fight night, Sean Strickland versus Anthony Hernandez. Pretty good fight. There's a lot of good fights on the card. I want to know what your most anticipated fight on this card is, not including the main event. I can go first there if you don't got it ready yet.
Yeah, go for it. Go for it.
So, there's a guy that listen, me and this guy, we go way back. I'm really looking forward to the main card opener. Zachary Reese versus Michel Pereira. Come on, this is going to be fireworks. Fireworks. This fight's going to be 1 round and done, regardless of which way it goes, I think. And I think it's going our way. Michel Pereira's been not ideal as of lately, so I'm going Zachary. But that's not what this is about. That's my favorite fight on that card. What do you think?
Man, there's a lot of fun fights on this card. Wow. Dude, Jesus, there's some real fun fights on this card. I didn't even realize this. One that sticks out for me is Dan Ige and Melky Costa. Great fight. Great fight. That could easily be
Yep.
Friday the night.
Yep.
Sergey Spivak and Anthony D'Elia. Damn, I love Anthony D'Elia in that fight. Oh man, that's gonna be a great fight. Uh, dude, Carlos Leal versus Chidi and Njokuani. That's gonna be a great fight. Phil Rowe versus Jean Paul Bosniani. Dude, this card is pretty good. 14 fights on it. Man, and the co-main is Jeff Neal versus Euros Medic. Yeah, dude, this fight's sick, but yeah, give me Dan Ige and Melky Costa for my most anticipated fight on that card. Oh yeah.
All right. I like it. So that's all we got for you today. That's the episode. I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and yeah, make sure to hit us up next time. We'll be back
Yeah,
here for more soon. Thanks for
peace.
watching.